it's Leigh, and today I'm going to be doing my February wrap-up and March TBR. Now I actually read a lot, way more than I was expecting to in February, and I'm super proud of myself for actually like skipping college so I could do that. Oops. Health problems. So if you watched last month's reading wrap-up, then you know that I was basically just reading all of the prequels from The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas, which is 5 prequels from the Throne of Glass series in a bound up book printed edition, and it contains, wait, I'm gonna forget these: The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, The Assassin and the Healer, The Assassin and the Desert, The Assassin and the Underworld, The Assassin and the Empire. Last month I read the first 2, this month I read the last 3. Pat on the back. I can officially say now, without doing that whole technically I've read 2 books but technically I've read nothing, I can now say that I have read The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. So, I mean, technically that's 3 books, but I've read 1 book, okay? The next book I read is The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, the first book in a series of unfortunate events. Oh, I forgot how much I love this book series, and I just, the memories, my childhood, I'm in love. I am in love. Next book I read is From the Cruel Crown by Victoria Aveyard. This is a printed bind-up of 2 of the prequels to the Red Queen series. It contains Queen Song and Steel Scars. Now, I heard good things about Queen Song, kind of negative things about Steel Scars. If you've read the Red Queen book, then you know who Cal and Farley are, okay? If not, try and follow along. Cal is the prince, and the Queen's Song story is about his mum and her death, essentially. It's not a spoiler, I promise. Steel Scars is about Farley and her relationship with her dad and like what she has to do with the rebellion. Not a spoiler, I promise. And I read Queen's Song. Moving on. Okay, I started Steel Scars, but I can't. I'm DNFing it. I'm sorry. The next book I read is The Reptile Room, which is book 2 in a series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snicket. Monty. My heart still breaks every time I think about Monty. Count Olaf is a douche. Then I read the 3rd book in the series, which is The Wide Window, but I borrowed it from my sister's primary school library because it's the only one of the 13 I don't own, so here's the cover. That was a good book too. Although I kind of hate Aunt Josephine. Like, I'm all for good grammar and being scared of things that are appropriate, but irrational fears and how mean she is at the end of her life, I can't. The next book I read is The One by Kira Cass. This is the 3rd book in the Selection series. Now, if you watched my What I Read in 2016 mega wrap-up, I will leave a link below if you haven't. If you have, you will know that I said that the opinion that I get, and the opinion I get when I ask people about it, is that this series starts off good and then it gets worse. Now, this book is basically The Bachelor, but with royals and a lot of attacks on the castle, which, you know, you'd think they'd have better security. But the first book I gave a 5 out of 5, the second book I gave a 4 out of 5, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5. It would have been a 5 out of 5 if I hadn't have died around here. If you read the book, you know the bit I'm on about. If you haven't, read it and cry with me. It's not like, oh my god, emotional, like character death. It's really not. It's just, what is happening? Somebody fill me in. I'm scared. The uncertainty killed me. The next book I read was sent to me as an ebook for review, which got sent to a lot of people. If you are signed up to Benjamin Alderson's newsletter subscription thing, then you would have been sent this too. Basically, I signed up to a lot of different websites and a lot of different like authors subscriptions, because then they send me like free books or free extracts from their books, and there's a lot of like sales on ebooks and things, and this is all to do with Ovs Homes Publishing, which is Ben's publishing company. I love his booktube channel, and I was really excited when I was on the gondola going up a mountain that I was about to ski down, and this popped into my inbox, and I was like, downloading straight away. This book is called Evanescent by Gabriella Lepore, and all that he asked in exchange for reading this book was an Amazon review, and you can read that either by finding it on Amazon, or I will leave a link to my website where you can read like the full review. Magic and mystery and this book is about witches, a girl who is being hunted, and the three boys trying to save her. Or is she trying to save them? Dun dun dun! Literally, it's so good, and I stick by my statement in my review of firmly believing that Gabriella Lepore is a descendant of Margot Bates, who is the witch in the story, because only a witch could rip my heart out and make me believe it was a good thing. And the last book I read this month is Ink by Alice Broadway. This is a new book to come out. It came out February 2nd. The main character, Leora, I hope I'm saying that right. Let's call her Law. Verity calls her Law. Okay. Law is a girl whose father dies, and she lives in a society where big moments in your life and like your career and your age and everything gets tattooed onto your body, and it's a way of telling your story and having your story remembered. So this book is part of a series called Skin Books, and this is book 1 of Skin Book. The clue's in the title. Basically, when you die, they take your skin off and it gets made into a book, and that book sits in your house, and then you can be remembered for generations and generations and generations. And even after your family goes, like, your book goes into a museum and everybody just remembers you. It is a beautiful story. At first it took me a while to like get into the whole society. Not that I'm against tattooing, that's okay. I'm against tattooing a child like straight after birth. Like, oh, they wait like a week and then they tattoo their name onto them. I'm a little bit against that, just a tad. You know, as I read the story and I got to know the characters and I got to know the society from an insider's point of view, it sort of made sense to me, and I love the book. Kind of hate the big plot twist that happens towards the end. And not that I hate it because it was a terrible plot twist. I love Alice for writing it like that. What I hate is that I read the book like as soon as it came out, and now I have to wait ages to find out what happens, because it didn't end on a cliffhanger per se, but it left with enough intrigue that I will quite happily go track Alice Broadway's house down and stare through her window until she finishes writing it, so I can just grab it off her as soon as she finishes. So that is it for my wrap up. I actually think I read quite a bit. I did also start 2 books, but we're going to put them into my March TBR section. So the first book that I am going to be reading this month is an ebook. It is also by Gabriella Lepore, and one thing that I didn't notice is how long this book has actually been sitting on my iBooks. I went onto my iPhone and I was like scrolling through ebooks trying to find something that I could read on the plane, and then I noticed this book called Secrets in Phoenix, and I was like, when did I get sent this? And I noticed it was by Gabriella Lepore, and I was like, okay, well, after the heartbreak of Evanescent and the fact that I love her style, you know, I'm just gonna have to read it, aren't I? I have no choice now. I am like 2-3 chapters in. I am absolutely in love with the story. It is about a girl and her 2 twin brothers who are older than her by 2 years, and they have no parents. They used to live with their grandfather, but he passed away, and now they live with his grandfather's sister, who they didn't even know existed. And they've moved into this place called Phoenix Holt, and there's a lot of magic and mystery and things, and I don't really know, because you know how I hate going to a book knowing what it's about, but I know it's about witches because I've read that far in the book. Thank you to whoever sent out a free copy of Secrets in Phoenix in the past 6 months. Love you for it. The next book I have started and will be finishing this month is The Miserable Mill, which is book 4 in the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. The kids go to a mill and Count Olaf is there and shenanigans. After that is The Austere Academy, book 5 in a series of Unfortunate Events. Kids go to a boarding school, Count Olaf is there, shenanigans. The Ersatz Elevator, book 6. There's an elevator, Count Olaf is there, shenanigans. I sound really bored. It's just, it's a series of unfortunate events. Like, if you don't know what it's about, then God help you. Anyway, that is it for my wrap up and TBR, I think. Yeah, we'll stop there. That's fine. Well, I hope I didn't ruin any books. Anyway, here is my wrap up and TBR, along with 2 ebooks. But yes, that is it for this week's video, guys. If you liked, be sure to give a big old thumbs up, as is immediately down in the description, so make sure you follow me, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Ciao! Oh my god, this is too far away. Why do I always do this to myself? Oh, I dropped the books.